See if we're back online. Alright, I don't know what the heck happened, guys, but my freaking stream just crashed or something. I don't know. Okay, anyway, as I was saying, I am going to be in the market for a new running back. We are starting up a rebuild with the Atlanta Falcons. I went ahead and deleted that live stream because... okay, now it's fuzzy again. I went ahead and deleted that live stream because... okay, now it's fuzzy again. Alright, I don't know what's going on, guys. I'm just trying to make sure that this stream doesn't crash again because... either my internet is starting to lose connection for some weird reason, or I don't know. Let's see here. For some weird reason, or okay, we're looking okay. I'm just gonna have to go with this as is because I was like, during the last stream, I was looking at my computer screen and it was buffering, so I figured that I was about to lose connection or something like that. I don't know what happened. So yeah, I guess it's just my internet connection or something like that. The internet should still be good. Hopefully so. Okay, so we are starting a new rebuild with the Atlanta Falcons. We are in the market for a running back and quarterback. So in terms of what we can really look at in the draft, that is an option. But I wouldn't mind taking a look in free agency this offseason as well. There could be a good quarterback or running back or even receiver. All three of those skill positions are players that we're going to be looking for. And I'm going to move Patterson back to being a receiver for the second year of this rebuild. So I'm going to go ahead and simulate to the playoffs. We're not going to do any moves. You know, if injuries happen, they happen. First season, we're going to let happen. Not expecting this team to be the playoff team by any stretch because we're competing against the Bucs, who still have Tom Brady in this first year in 2022. And we also have a good Carolina Panthers team. Well, not good, but a Panthers team is probably better than us. And also the Saints are not too bad of a bunch. They got some decent players there, but they don't have really a quarterback either. But, yeah. So, yeah, just wanted to kind of have, you know, one more rebuild, like, you know, really, you know, traditional rebuild. You know, because with the Browns one, I had fun with it, absolutely. But it wasn't really as much of a rebuild as it probably should have been because I won the Super Bowl in the first year. I mean, that's pretty much... that pretty much finishes the rebuild, if you ask me. But I wanted to see if I could get the Browns over the hump, kind of in that rebuild, per se. So now with the Falcons, we are doing a more traditional one like I did with the Texans. We're going to be looking for a new franchise quarterback. We're going to be looking for some new skill position guys and some help on defense. So it's going to be kind of similar. And look, this team was a 77 overall, I think. That's not very good. That's one of the lowest rated teams right now in the game with the active rosters as of the end of the 2022 season. So, you know, just the Falcons overall are just not a very good team, and we need to get them some good players. And free agency draft, at least for the first year of this rebuild, it's all on the table. If there's talent out there in free agency, because I feel like there will be, and there's somebody decent that we see, we're going to go after them, and we're going to throw some money at them. And we're going to get to the negotiating part of this at the beginning of the offseason and see which guys we want to bring back. A lot of the guys that I saw were on the last year of their deal are not very highly rated guys. Some of them could be depth pieces that I might be interested in bringing back, but I don't know. It remains to be seen. Guys that are in the 80s, though, yeah, I'm keeping you for sure, 100%. But fortunately, it looks like with guys that we have that are pretty rated highly, like A.J. Terrell and Patterson and Matthews, I think that those guys still have a few more years left on their contracts, so we won't have to worry about them until hopefully a year or two. So that way we can keep at least some cornerstone franchise pieces here. And like I said with the offense, I think it's really going to be about putting pieces around Kyle Pitts. I mean, he's a good tight end, 86 overall. He's the only bright spot really on our entire offense. But if we don't have a good quarterback throwing him the football, it's not doing so much good to have probably the best tight end in the division and not be able to get him the ball. So we finished 8-9, which actually is not as bad as I thought we would go. But we're not a playoff team, and we did finish last place in the division. So even though we were not one of the worst teams in the NFL, we did miss the playoffs at 8-9. The Saints finished third, Buccaneers finished second, Panthers finished first. So yeah, we are definitely going to be in need of some help. And I'm sticking with Arthur Smith as our head coach for at least the first few years, because I feel that we at least need to give him a shot for the first full season of the rebuild. I don't want to move on from him just yet. We don't really have enough skill points to spend on our staff right now, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of bypass that and kind of get going here. So let's. So I'm going to go ahead and you know what? Let me take a look at staff moves and maybe see what coaches and players, what coaches have been fired. If there's somebody better, whoa. Dan Campbell got fired. So Pete Carroll retired. Wow. We could go out and we can get Dan Campbell. You know what? We need... you know what? No. Let's stay with Arthur Smith at least for this first year. If we miss the playoffs and we're even worse team in the second year with a changes on the offense and getting better players, then I'm gonna cut ties with him. So we'll go ahead and do that. So let's go ahead and sim to let's go ahead and just sim to next week, because I want to see if any of the Falcons made the Pro Bowl. So I'm just gonna go week by week. So let's go ahead and bypass all this and kind of just go to the next round of the playoffs. All right, let's take a look at the Pro Bowl roster, see if we had any Falcons that made it this year. Lindstrom made it, our right guard, so he's made the Pro Bowl this year. And Young Ho Koo made it as well. So we had our kicker and left guard. Lindstrom made it. So 2 Falcons made the Pro Bowl this year. Kyle Pitts was nowhere near getting a chance to be in the Pro Bowl, but it is what it is. Go ahead and simulate through the Pro Bowl week. And let's get to the Super Bowl and see who wins the Super Bowl in the first season of the rebuild. And maybe some of the awards as well. All right, so Super Bowl is going to be the Chargers and the Panthers. Wow, the Panthers, really surprised that they're about on the verge of winning a championship, and that's a team that we're going to have to compete with next year in our division. So they're the measuring stick right now for this rebuild, at least in our division. So Jalen Hurts won MVP, and Coach of the Year goes to Matt Rule. So he wins Coach of the Year. Let's go ahead and go to the NFC, and let's see. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Cooper Kupp. No Falcons in sight. Defensive Player of the Year, nobody in sight from us either. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Drake London broke the top 10. He finished 9th, so not bad. Hopefully he's another young player we can build around. His overall will go up throughout this rebuild. Best quarterback, no. Best receiver, oh, Damian Byrd, number 9. And did London not get any recognition? So Demary Byrd, he was broke the top 10, number 9. And Chris Lindstrom was 2nd in the NFC for best offensive lineman. So not too bad. Best defensive lineman, nobody from the Falcons in there. Linebacker, nobody there either. Richie Grant finished 7th for best defensive back, so not bad. And Young-Ho Koo finished 2nd for best kicker in the NFC. So, a couple Falcons in there for getting some recognition, you could say. So, let's go ahead and simulate and see who wins the Super Bowl. Actually, let's go ahead and upgrade players first. Now, Ritter is our backup quarterback right now. He's still going to be on this roster for the next few seasons. A lot of people in real life have talked about him possibly being the future, but you know what? So far, he really didn't play much this season because I had Mariota taking the snaps. So he hasn't really developed at all, and at this point, doing a rebuild overalls count. So unless Riddler is going to take a huge step, I don't see him really being our future. He's going to be he's going to be our backup. We can keep him here for a backup reason, but other than that, I don't really see any reason to keep him on this team. Just in terms of have him be the focus of the offense, be our new starting quarterback. I don't plan to have him do that. So now the Panthers won the Super Bowl. So team in our division won the Super Bowl in the first year of the rebuild. So that's the measuring stick for them. And we'll see if Tom Brady retires. If he does, then we may have to put up with him in year 2 of this rebuild. So that'll be tough if he's still playing beyond 2022. Okay, so let's go to the negotiating screen. First of all, let's actually check retirements and see if we had anybody from the Falcons retire. My guess is probably not, but let's see what happened with the rest of the league. Let's go to the NFC South. So Julio Jones retired, but Tom Brady did not. So Brady is still going to play next season. So the only person who retired from any team in the NFC South was Julio Jones. We had no retirements, and it looks like not a whole lot of big names retired anyway. So, yeah. All right, so this is the last chance that we have to negotiate with players, and we have $122 million in cap room. So I was thinking about bringing back Evans, but his re-sign interest is just not up there. But Lorenzo Carter, yes, I want to keep you on this team if we can. He'd like to play for a new team next year. Well, you know what? I still am interested in him, so let's go ahead and give him the franchise tag. That's going to eat up, $21 million, but it's okay. So Oliver sort of interest is up there, maybe about bringing him back, but these guys' interests are really not up there. But you know what? Bird was a guy who was a breakout player for us last year, even though he was, he broke the top 10 for best receiver in the conference. So you know what? Let's make him an offer. He's excited to stay. Okay. Depth at receiver, that's really what Bird can be, but it looks like last year he really stepped up big. So Fenton, he's interested in re-signing, so let's go ahead and keep him for another 2 years. Exactly the offer he was looking for. Okay, cool. We still got a lot of cap room left, but I don't want to spend it all now. I'm really only interested in bringing back guys whose re-sign interest is up there in the green. I don't want to waste time throwing more money at guys just because they're low. So none of these rest of these guys are interested, including Keith Smith. So we're going to have to get a new fullback. We can draft one late, or we can always just sign one later. And I think as far as special teams, we're good too. We still have Young-Ho Koo and our punter, so we don't have to worry about trying to get those guys to come back. Yeah, so, we could bring back Oliver, but I don't really think I'm interested really in that very much. Because we probably have to offer him more money than I really want to offer him. So that's what we're going with right now. We're not bringing back Evans or trying to, because his interest in coming back is just not up there. And if you're not interested in being a part of this franchise for at least, the next year, then I'm not interested in you. I'm going to go out and look for somebody better in free agency or the draft who's interested in coming to this team. And I love the fact that that's something that's been newly added in the game. So let's go ahead and take a look at our roster going into the offseason, and let's see what we really need. Mariota is still on the team, but he is not the future at quarterback. He's just not. Ritter and Mariota are both 70 overalls. We're going to still have those guys on the roster, but I don't plan to have either of those guys be the starter for this season. And we still have Patterson, and I'm actually going to see if I can change his position to receiver if I can. So, Patterson, you are not a running back. So we are going to move you to wide receiver. Save changes. Yes, I do. So Patterson is now going to receiver, which will also give us another weapon over there. So our receiving core is looking better, actually. So we've got Patterson. Even though his overall dipped to a 76, he is naturally a receiver. I don't really want to keep him at running back. And Drake London is up to an 81, so I like that. We re-signed Bird, so our receiving core has some young guys, but we're obviously still looking for some help. Our tight end room is pretty filled, so I don't really need to worry about that. Could use another left tackle, offensive line. We need a right tackle. We have no right tackles on the roster. Defensive end, we could use another one to back Ray Jarrett, and we have no defensive tackles. So we need a right tackle and a defensive tackle big time. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, we need, and we also actually need a punter. So we're actually going to have to go out and get a punter. We'll worry about that maybe a little bit later in free agency. So we have a good amount of cap room, and we got to use that money. We got to spend the money because we need help everywhere. We really could use help anywhere. So $93.7 million in cap room. Now, Kareem Hunt is the highest overall, but here's the thing. You know, his interest in coming to us is not anywhere up there. But Rashad Penny is, and we need a running back. I'm going to give an offer to Penny. See if we can get him to come down here. I really think that he fits our scheme as well, so that's another thing that I like. And as far as Penny, we're his only offer, so I'm actually going to see if I can lower this a little bit to get him to go take a team-friendly deal if no other team express interest in him, just so we save a little bit of money. So yeah, so if we remain his only interested team, got a good shot at him. Now quarterbacks. Tom Brady's a free agent. Oh my goodness. Wow. So Tom Brady didn't retire. He's just going to play for another team. Oh my God. But his interest is not anywhere up there at all. He's not. His interest is at zero. He's not interested in becoming a Falcon. We would have to offer him all of the money to get him. And I don't want to spend all that money on one player. So, wow. That's a very interesting thing for year two. Tom Brady hasn't retired. He's going to go play for another team. Whoever decides to sign him. Unbelievable. Now, Garoppolo is in the medium as far as interest, but 74, that's not really super great. Mayfield is kind of up there, but, you know, I want to sign guys that have the interest in playing here. That's the thing for me. Let me take a look at fullbacks. Burton is a guy that we could bring in, but I don't want to spend too much. You know what? Let's actually go ahead and sign Burton. Let's get a decent fullback in here. I'm going to go with a team-friendly deal. I don't really think that there's any other teams that are really clamoring for him. Yeah, we're his only offer, and it's actually in the green form, so that's not bad. What about receiver? Are there other decent receivers out here? No, there is not. I mean, Isaiah Hodgins is the first receiver that has any interest in signing with us or is interested in the Falcons at all. But, you know, 77, we have guys that are in the 70s already. Let me go ahead and take a look actually at Tom Brady's, like, interest thing, you know, if you will. So, Super Bowl chase, Falcons are an underdog, head coach, historic record, career win percentage 44%, warm weather state. So that kind of factors in, but he's just not interested in signing with our team. You know, that's the thing. And it would cost, and his expected value was $39.4 million. So that would eat up half of the cap room that we have, and we need to spend that money elsewhere. We need a right tackle. We have no right tackles on this roster. Terrence Steele's out there, but he's not in the green. So, you know what? We need to get a right tackle. So let's go ahead and sign Tom Compton. Of course, we could always look. Of course, we're probably going to look to draft one as well. But let's go ahead and bring in Compton because we just need a right tackle. And are we his only offer? We are his only offer. So I'm pretty sure we're going to get Compton. And, yeah, this is kind of just, I think, what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to rebuild this first year with kind of some low guys. But Sheldon Rankins, 77 overall, he's interested in our team. Let's offer him a deal. And let's go with a neutral offer for him to get his interest up there because we have no defensive tackles. So, you know, Rankins, I think, could be a very solid player. I think he's going to be he's still a relatively young man. Went to Louisville. His position rank overall is, you know, second. So I think that's pretty good for free agency, getting a solid offer for him. And he's interested in coming to our team. His interest is pretty up there. You know, playing at Louisville, that's close to Atlanta or Georgia, so I think that's why his interest is up there. So, with that, we should be able to take care of our glaring need at defensive tackle this offseason. So that is pretty solid. What about linebackers? No real solid linebackers for left side. Middle, no really guys that are interested. And right side outside linebackers, nobody really interested there. Corners, not really interested up there. In safety, we're pretty good. Let's go ahead and get a punter. We need a punter. Let's go ahead and get Sam Martin. Let's go ahead and give him a team-friendly deal. We'll only probably keep him for 1 year anyway. Save a little bit of that cap room, save some of the money, and fill a need that we don't have. Oh, man, it'd be nice to get Tom Brady, but yeah. Just don't think it'd be really that good. So, we're 5 for 5 in terms of negotiations that we could do. So here are our targets that we are targeting so far. Rashad Penny, we are targeting him to be our new starting running back. He fits our scheme, 80 overall, still very young, and he's interested in coming here. That's the main thing. Sheldon Rankins, defensive tackle. Sam Martin, our punter, and Michael Burton, our new fullback, and Tom Compton is our new right tackle. Now, I'm not a big fan of having a 69 overall start at right tackle, but we can probably address that in the draft. But as far as quarterbacks are concerned, we may just have to draft one. And basically being 8-9, even though we finished last in the division, we should have a decent pick. But I'm a little worried that we won't be able to get somebody like C.J. Stroud, Bryce Young, or even Will Levis. I really don't want to have to take Will Levis again for the third rebuild in Madden 23. I really don't want to have to do that. But so first of all, let's see if we were able to sign any of those free agents after this first wave. Hopefully we got at least some of them. Let's go to signings. Did we get anybody? We got Rankins, Martin, Burton, and Compton. So Penny, the Panthers offered him more. We're not letting him go. We're offering him more. Let's offer him a better deal. And where does that put us? Where does that put us now? So we are just leading the Panthers. So let's, you know what? I don't want to take a risk. Let's bump up a little bit more. $3 million. Let's bump it up a little bit. And make sure that we land Penny. Hopefully that puts us in a better spot. We're still even with, well, I don't want to break the bank just for Penny, who's only an 80 overall running back, but what the heck? Player friendly. Yeah, let's do this. 4 years, $3.2 million. What did that do? Did that put us above the Panthers? Ugh. Jeez. I don't want to overpay for him too much. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and target some more free agents. Hopefully we can still get Penny. Let's go ahead and maybe take a look at maybe getting another left tackle to back up Matthews. Eric Fisher. He's a solid guy. No real interest in him. Let's go ahead and offer him a team-friendly deal. Let him come here for 1 season. His age is up there, but, you know, no other teams are interested in him, so we should be able to get Fisher. And at worst, we can also kick him over to the right side. And do that. Right guard. Probably don't really need any help there. Defensive ends. Maybe some guys out there. We could use another defensive tackle because we have none. So let's go ahead and also get Derek Nadi as well. Let's go ahead and get him. Let's offer him a deal. Where did that put us? Well, the Saints are offering more, but you know what? I'm not going to break the bank on him. So we got another guy. Ooh, Jonathan Hankins, 72 overall. Hell yeah. Let's go with him. Let's offer him a deal. So I'm pretty sure we'll get Hankins over that other guy. So let's go ahead and just kind of stick with that. I'm going to leave that offer on the table. If Ndadi takes it, that's fine, but it looks like we're probably going to get Hankins. He is on the older side, but we need more defensive tackle help there, and we don't have that. So we're going to offer Hankins a deal. Dallas must have not re-signed him. Trey Flowers is out there. Linebacker, we could still use some help there, but I think our best bet is to address that in the draft, because really none of these guys that are even in the 70s, except for Anzoli, his interest is actually kind of up there, 74. But you know what? Let's go ahead and offer Anzoli a deal. Anzoli. Anzalone. Okay, gotcha. Let's go with a team-friendly deal and just try to, get him on the cheap, get him on a cheaper deal for 1 year if we can. Where did that put us? We're his only offer, so we're probably going to get him. I mean, 74 overall, that's not bad. Right outside linebacker. Nicholas Morrow. You know what? Why not? We need help everywhere. Let's offer him a deal. And where does that put us with Morrow? Only offer, so we'll probably land him. Michael Davis fits our scheme, 78. But you know what? We're pretty good at corner. And, all right. So let's go ahead and recap some more targets that we have. We're not going to target it. So we're still looking at getting Penny. The Panthers are actually offering more money than us. But, I'm going to, let me go to other running backs and let's see if there are other available backs besides Penny who are interested at all. Chase Edmonds. Yeah, but Edmonds is in the 70s and Penny's in 80s, so if we miss out on Penny for some reason, I think we're just going to have to look at running back in the draft as well. So anyway, this is who we're going with for our second wave. We're still looking at getting Penny. Nadi, the Saints offered more, so we probably won't be able to get him, but we did offer Jonathan Hankins. But Alex Anzalone, we're looking to get him. We're looking to get Morrow and Hankins and Fisher. Fisher's going to be more backing up on the left or the right side. Hankins, we're probably going to get him over Derek because, we're offering him, there's no other offers for Hankins. We got the Saints competing with us. We got two division opponents competing for some of the free agents that we're looking to get. Let's go ahead and simulate and see if we were able to get Penny. I think we have one more free agency period left. And after that, it's the draft, so... Alright, let's see if we were able to get Penny. We didn't get him. Where did he go? He must have gone to the Panthers. Yeah, he went to the Panthers. Yeah. Yeah, Pennies went to the Panthers. Golly, we missed out on them. Jamal Williams, golly, but he's not interested at all. Okay, so you know what? We're going to go and see if I can do this. Morrow is the only other player that is... let me actually go ahead and see who else we got. I think we were able to get everybody else. So let's go ahead and take a look. I don't think we got Derek, but let's see who else we got. So we got Rankins, as we already know. We were able to get Hankins. We got Fisher, and we got Compton. So Morrow, he's still considering our offer, but he has no other offer, so he's probably just waiting and seeing what happens. Jamal Williams is the highest rated running back still on the market at 84 overall, but he's just not interested in being a Falcon. So I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to make a trade to get some running back help in here. In real life, I know that the Falcons drafted Bijan Robinson to help out with that. But you know, who knows if he'll be there. If we can get maybe Robinson like in real life, or maybe another running back, you know, that'd be great. But you know, that's just going to be tough. So, and I really want to address quarterback because I really don't like the fact that we're probably going into this with a 70 overall Marcus Mariota again. But fortunately, we were able to sign some free agents for key positions of need that we really had. So yeah, but God, I really wanted to get Penny. That's a shame we couldn't get him. And he's young too, so we still have the luxury of being able to develop him a little bit. So let's see if we can make a trade. Let's see if we can make a trade for a running back. As far as assets that we can really even offer, we don't have a whole lot. And also we could look at trading for a quarterback. So let's go ahead and actually take a look at every team's quarterback situation and see if there's like a backup that isn't being used that maybe we could trade for. And then we can maybe worry about trading for a running back. So Tom Brady went to the Broncos. That is very interesting. And you know what? Since Russell Wilson is there, let's see if maybe we can get him. 76, I mean, that's not super bad, but, you know, let's see if we can, let's see what we can offer. You know what? Let's offer Mariota, and let's do a draft pick. A second-round pick. This probably won't be enough to get Russell, but let's see. Trade decline. Unfortunately, we can't consider an offer as it will put us over the salary cap. Okay, all right. Well, let's take Mariota off that, and will you take just a second-round pick? We'd love to do business, but need significantly more to start negotiating seriously. Okay. I don't know if I want to give. I don't know if I want to give up another pick, but let's see. We have two fourth-round picks. Let's see about another fourth-round pick, or second fourth-round pick. We'd love to do business, but we need significantly more to negotiate seriously. All right. Do we have extra picks, like in terms of this year? We have another seventh-round pick. Let's take that. So let's put this fourth-round pick, which is higher, and let's put a higher seventh-round pick, and let's see if that'll do it. We'd love to do business, but we need more. Okay, all right. Well, I think we should still stick with the second rounder. What's their cap situation? $13.4 million. Okay, so we just... What about Riddler? His cap hit isn't as much as Mariota's. We can't consider this offer as it will put us over the salary cap. Man, okay. Well, I don't think we can do it with the Broncos. So let's kind of go back. Let's go back to the negotiation. Let's go back and see what else we can do. All right, let's look at the Browns quarterback situation. They don't have a whole lot of cap room either, obviously, just like I did in the last rebuild. Bucks have no quarterbacks. Wow. So you know what? Since the Bucks have no quarterbacks, let's see actually. No. I don't want to get picks. No. I don't know what I'm doing. I need to get a quarterback. I don't need to give them one. I wasn't thinking for a second. Are there any backups that are solid, maybe? Bridgewater, Matt Ryan. But Matt Ryan's a 67. That's not good at all. Garoppolo went to the Commanders. I don't really think we're going to be able to trade for a quarterback. We could trade for Lance, but I don't think they would budge really on that. Goff. Nobody really out here. We could probably even really trade for. By the way, that's not Lamar Jackson at all. I don't know what the Madden servers have done with his face. It's ridiculous. I've seen it in other live streams too, where like the face changes and everything. Could we possibly see... Let's see if maybe we can get Ryan Tannehill. 74 is not that bad, but it's not super good, but it buys us a little bit of time. Can we just trade up Mariota straight up for him? Trade decline. We don't feel the offer brings enough value. What's given up? Okay, so I think we gotta throw in a pick. You know what? Let's actually take Mariota off of there. You know what? No, I want to give Mariota because Ritter could still be a solid backup, so I want to keep him just in case. But what about a second round? You know what? No. That's too high value. What about a third? For Ryan Tannehill. All right. So we got Ryan Tannehill now as a Falcon. That might not have been the best move in the world, but we need a decent quarterback. And look, you know, this rebuild could be a little bit of a longer one. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what having Ryan Tannehill does to help us out a little bit. Obviously, he's a better quarterback than Mariota, 74 overall. We have Ritter backing him up, and we gave up also a third-round pick. That might have been a little bit too high a value, but it seemed like that they really weren't budging. So since we have a quarterback upgrade, even though Ryan Tannehill's been here in the league for 11 years, I think this constitutes him being more of really a bridge player. Because I feel like if there's a good quarterback out there, we'll go get him. But if there's a better running back, then we're going to probably prioritize him over a quarterback. Just because we were not able to land any running backs in free agency that can be a day one starter. So this roster really hasn't been upgraded a whole lot in free agency. But, you know, we're just going to have to look and see what we can get. And also, let me actually go ahead and get another right guard and a right tackle. We still got some money to spend, so let's spend it. Let's go ahead and get a right guard and a right tackle. Another one, because we have, you know, only one of each. So let's go ahead and see what right guards are out here and they're interested. Oh, Darrell Williams. Let's go ahead and bring him in. On a team-friendly option. Is he even considering that? The Lions are offering more. All right, well, I don't want to get into too much of a bidding war. So let's offer one to Haynes as well. If we can get Haynes, that's fine too. The Commanders are offering more. So you know what? Let's withdraw this offer. And let's get Williams. Neutral. What does that do? Did that help us at all? All right. We're ahead on the Lions. Let's get another right tackle. We were able to get Compton. Let's go ahead and get Riley Reef. All right. So those are some names that I've heard of before. And this Reef, yeah, Reef is our only offer right now, so that's good. We still got $42 million in cap room to spend, so we've got a lot of room to. We still can spend a lot of money, but you know, I really just want to express. I really just want to throw money at guys that are even interested. But you know what? Let's also go ahead and, you know, well, let's just go ahead and go with that. Let me take one more look at the roster going into the draft and see what kind of shape we're in. What about defense? What do we really what maybe more positions do we need to fill on defense? Left end. Right end, we could use it. Let's get another, maybe we should, yeah, we should probably go get another right defensive end. Linebackers, you know, guys in the 70s. But you know, there were just no good linebackers really out there that were even interested in coming to us. So I'm not really worried about not really landing any of those cats. We have another kicker. We can probably get rid of this guy. Let's get rid of Berglass, whatever his name is. It's not going to free a whole lot in cap room, but we don't need another kicker on the roster. Young Hoku is our starting kicker. Of course, we got Sam Martin. So, yeah. I mean, we'll see what Tannehill can do, but, you know, it's tough. We'll have to see. Let's get another right end, actually. Well, you know what? We have 3 left in, so you know what? You know what? Forget that. I'm not going to worry about that. Let's go ahead and advance the week and see if we were to sign any of those other free agents that we offered contracts to. I think this is our last wave, too. So fortunately with this Falcons rebuild, we have a whole lot of cap room to spend in the first off season, which is very nice. Because with other ones, we haven't really been able to do that. Let's go ahead and view free agency recap and see who we were able to get. Let's go to my signings. So Rankins, Martin, we already knew those guys were here. And we were able to sign Reef, but I'm guessing we didn't get anybody else. So no, I guess we were able to just get Reef, right tackle. But that's okay. So let's go ahead and take a look, one more final look at the roster before we go into the draft. I think we just really got to go after a running back. I think that if somebody like Robinson is there, or maybe another solid guy, we need to go with him. Let's see here. Let's go to right guard. So we only have one right guard. We have Compton and Reef as our new right tackles. I think in the draft we could still be looking at a right tackle as well. Right end, we need another one. Defensive tackle. And we could use some help at linebacker as well. We have enough linebackers, but nobody in the 80s, so we're still looking to build that up a little bit. And, you know, Ryan Tannehill is better than Mariota, but, you know, he's kind of, in my opinion, a bridge guy. And let's go ahead and take a look at Mock Draft 5, and let's see what they have the Falcons projecting. What do they have us projected to do? So they have us taking Isaiah Foskey. I mean, we could use another defensive end, yes, but what other running backs are considered high up on the board? Okay, well, so Bijan Robinson is projected to go #1 overall to the Lions. Wow. So that's not what I was hoping for. So I think that we need to go after. We might have to reach. This is probably going to be a reach, but I think we need to go ahead and get Jahmyr Gibbs from Alabama. He's the second best running back, I think, rated in the draft for this particular rebuild. So I think we got to go with Gibbs. If he's there, we have to take him in the first round. We need a running back. And of course we could also use a receiver. There's a lot of receivers in that first round as well, but I think I can save that for maybe a second round pick. It's tough, but I think that's just what we're going to have to do. I'm trying to get some skill position guys to develop or be a part of this roster for a few years. And I'm not saying that Ryan Tannehill is the long-term solution, but he might have to be for the first few years if we're not able to get a quarterback. So, yeah. And I really just don't know if I want to turn... And I don't really want Ritter to be the answer because he's still only a 70 overall. He's not going to develop unless he's played. I don't want a 70 overall quarterback out there in just the second season of the rebuild. I think that's going to be tough. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with the draft.
The Detroit Lions now
so
on the clock.
Here we go. Let's go ahead and make our pick. Let's see who's out here. Let's take a look at the big board. Wow. Oh my goodness. So quarterbacks are still available. How is Bryce Young still on the board? Wow. You know what? Okay, no, wait. Running backs. What are running backs? You know, just get Zach Evans later. You know what? I'm gonna do it. Bryce Young. be our franchise quarterback.
With the next
I know we just traded for Ryan Tannehill, but getting Bryce Young when I felt that there's no way he was going to be available, you go with Bryce Young. We're going with Bryce Young for our future quarterback. It's the Bryce Young show. Let's get it done. And in other rebuilds that I've seen, whatever team he goes to, he turns life around. So let's hope we can do the same here. But let's not kid ourselves. We need a running back. We could also use a receiver. So you know what? Let's go ahead and go with Devin Achane, who is a running back out of Texas A&M, because we need a new running back. I don't know if this guy's going to be a day one starter, and I do like our other young running backs that we have, but we need a running back. So we took a need. And, you know, Drake London is a solid receiver at 81 overall, but I think this 4th round pick has to be a receiver. We need skill position guys. But what receivers are out here? Like, what receivers are still on the board? Martin Ford, but he's a day 3 selection, and we're in the 4th round. You know, we're in the 4th round. So you know what? We're going to go with, this is going to be a reach, but let's go with Martin Ford in the 4th round, because we need some help at receiver.
On the clock now.
I don't know if his overall is going to be very high at all, but I need some help there. And now we are still in the 4th round. We have another pick. We had 2 4th round picks. I almost forgot about that, because we did have to trade our 3rd round pick to get Ryan Tannehill, which now might not have been the best decision out there, but you know, you got to do what you got to do to build your team. Let's go ahead and actually take a look at, let's see, what else do we need? What do we really need? Let's go to, we could use some linebacker help for sure. So let's go ahead and take Matthew Weaver. He is from, yeah, let's go ahead and take Weaver. Left outside linebacker. We need some help on defense. And now we are going to, I think, the 7th round, because we don't have a 6th round pick or a 5th.
It's the Atlanta Falcons now on the clock.
So we still have one more pick in the 7th round, but we didn't have a whole lot of low round picks. So, you know, we've got some needs to fill. We do need another defensive tackle. Let's go with Rudy Gilmore out of Virginia. Welcome to Atlanta.
With the next selection, the Falcons are on the clock.
All right, so this is our last pick of the draft. And let's hopefully we can get a diamond in the rough, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and take Grant Peralta. We need another offensive lineman. All right, and that's our draft. So hopefully we landed our quarterback of the future in Bryce Young. Let's go ahead and take a look at our draft recap. Let's do a recap of what we have. So, he slipped all the way to pick number 15, Bryce Young. 75 overall, so he's already a higher overall than Ryan Tannehill. I'm still going to keep Tannehill for at least this year. If I feel obliged to, I might trade him to somebody else or cut him, depending on our salary cap situation. But Bryce Young is our starting quarterback for the first year of this rebuild. We're going to go with him. We're going to have Ryan Tannehill backing him up. Devin Achane is our new running back, 74 overall. So his overall, actually, I think, is a little bit lower than the guy who's our starter. He wears number 25, but I forget his name right off the top of my head, so sorry about that. And Martin Ford, we drafted a receiver. We do need help at receiver, even though we have some guys like Patterson and Drake London who are going to be our top guys. We weren't really able to get a top flight receiver in the draft or in free agency, but you know what? I think Ford is still a solid pickup. Matthew Weaver, left outside linebacker, 64 overall. We need help there, and we need another defensive tackle, so we got Rudy Gilmore, and we got another right tackle in Grant Peralta. So, 3 skill position guys, and including Bryce Young. So, let's go ahead and adjust the roster, and let's see, and let's kind of make some movements here and kind of get the depth chart situated, because I might need to move a couple of linemen in different positions. So Bryce Young, can we give him number 9 if possible? Okay, actually, you know what? Number 9 is being worn by, I think, one of our linebackers. Yeah, Lorenzo Carter. I like you, Lorenzo, but we're going to give you a different number. We're going to give you a little bit of a different number, mister. We're going to give you number... We're going to make you number 20. That's kind of looking weird, but we're going to give him number 20. And Bryce Young is going to wear number 9. He is our new franchise quarterback. I know that Ryan Tannehill right now has a higher overall than him, but the only way for Bryce Young to develop is to put him out there and let him play. So he is going to start the first season. Bryce Young from Alabama. And you know what? I think it's actually a pretty good fit in Atlanta. He's played a bunch of SEC championship games in this very stadium. And, you know, if he plays his cards right, he could win Rookie of the Year. So we'll see. But he's our future. And Alligator is going to be our starting running back still. 79 overall is okay for the first year. And we have Devin Akane backing him up. I'm going to give him a different number, though. I don't want him to be wearing 18. That just looks awkward on a running back. Let's go ahead and give him number, let's see. Let's give him number 22. Just kind of adjusting some of the numbers for our rookies a little bit. And new fullback in Burton, Drake London, Patterson, Bird, Ford, number 13. So, yeah. Offensive line, you know, has some decency to it, but it's not, you know, super overpowering, if you will. Graham, you know, Jarrett, and all that. I don't really know if I need to change positions for a whole lot of these guys. Murrow looking like for that linebacking core? I mean, it's pretty good. Just helps with depth more than anything. All right. So going into the first full season of the rebuild, this is our roster. I'm going to go ahead and update the depth chart, though, and make sure, you know, actually we can do that after. Let's go ahead and jump to the preseason. I'm going to update the depth chart, make sure to put Bryce Young at quarterback. Upgrade players for the first preseason game. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick look at our depth chart. Let's get things adjusted. All right, Bryce Young, you're the man. You're our starting quarterback. Tannehill, in case he gets hurt, go in there and play for him. Hopefully Young can develop pretty quickly in the first year. And if he wins Rookie of the Year, he'll probably develop even more on offense. And he's got a good, decent receiving core and a decent running back. You know, not a decent one, but one that is, you know, trying to develop a little more. But we'll see. Kyle Pitts, looking good. He's our biggest weapon on offense, so he's going to be Young's target. Going to be looking for him. Let's have Eric Fisher as our backup left tackle. Left guard. Hennessy. Dowman, going to keep him there. Lindstrom. We're going to have Mayfield backing up at right guard. And Eric Fisher, who actually, his overall is actually, I think, higher. Is it? Compton is a 70. No, let's go. No, we're going with Compton as our starting right tackle. Riley Reef is backing him up. And we got Graham, Ward, Hain, Jarrett. We're going to have Horn backing him up, as well as Hankins over there as well, just in case, even though he's a defensive end. Rankins, Hankins. That's a good combination. Rankins and Hankins. What can they do for you? Sounds like a really bad infomercial. And Gilmore, third defensive tackle. It could be Walker. And we got Carter. Got Murrow. And we have another right outside linebacker, right? Yeah, D'Angelo Malone. Now, unfortunately, it looks like he's injured. But we're going to keep him there anyway. Hayward, Fenton, Hall, and Alford. Grant, Corker, Hawkins, and Gillespie. And we've got Young Hoku and our punter, kick returner. No, we got to go with Patterson. Kickoff return and punt return. He's going to get some work in because he's going to be playing some offense this year as well, but, it's where we need help. Third down back. Let's go. Yeah, let's go ahead and keep Akane in there. Kind of have a 1-2 punch. Our back. Slot receiver, Bird. Yeah. So we're good at the depth chart. That's what we're going with. For full year number 2. All right. So let's get to the preseason. Bryce Young at quarterback. Let's see how he does in the preseason. So we won our first preseason game over the Browns, 35-30. We don't have any skill points to spend with our staff, so we're going to go ahead and bypass that. Playing the Jaguars this week. And looks like we lost that game, but it's okay. So got one more preseason game against the Patriots on the road. And then we got cut days, and then we'll get to the regular season. And we lost that final preseason game, but we only have to cut 4 players. We don't have a whole big roster. Plenty of cap room, obviously, to spend. So let's go ahead and start cutting some guys. Let's go ahead and go position by position. Quarterbacks, one of these guys, maybe headed. So for Felipe Franks, let's go ahead and put him on the practice squad. Tannehill, Young, Ritter. That's what we're looking like right now. Have a lot more running backs. Let's go ahead and move Avery Williams to the practice squad. And fullbacks, we only have Burton. We're not going to do anything with him. Bunch of receivers. Let's go ahead and move Bernhardt to practice. And Liam McCullough. A lot of tight ends. Let's move him to practice squad as well. Okay. So let's go ahead and actually upgrade our staff because we have some upgrades that are available there. So let's go ahead and take care of that. Let's go to Henry Brock, our offensive coordinator. Our staff is pretty low rated right now for obvious reasons, but hopefully as the year or 2 go on during this rebuild, we can get some more development points, skill points, I should say, and upgrade these guys, make them better. But if we don't turn things around in these 2 years, we'll probably be looking at a new head coach. But I want to stick with Arthur for at least the first few years. With Bryce Young. Let's see what he can do. And is Bryce Young even the answer? Or should we look at a veteran Pro Bowl quarterback who could be available in this next offseason? We'll have to see. Practice squad player signed. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the roster and see what injuries we have maybe going into the first game against Seattle. Hopefully nobody significant. Shoulder strain, A.J. Terrell is out for 1 week. Man, best player out for the first game of the season. That's rough. All right, well, so here we go. First full season of the rebuild. Let's jump to the middle of the season and see where we're at. We may or may not be my guess is we probably won't be a playoff team in the first full season of the rebuild, so I will play the final regular season game. See what happens there. Be interested to play with Bryce Young. Hope everybody's having a good 4th of July. Not much going on for me, just enjoying my last off day of my weekend before I have to go back to work tomorrow. Still quite a few things going on there that I don't want to talk about, but pretty tough. Hopefully in the middle of the season we're not super bad, but we may not be very good. But I expect that. This could be a little bit of a longer rebuild. Or a tougher rebuild, I should say. It might even be tougher than the Texans. Who knows? Because I was able to get them into a playoff team by, I believe, year 3. So that's what I'm hoping for here, but we'll see. So we are overachieving as heck. We're 5-2 leading the division. How about that? Wow, Bryce Young must be playing pretty well. We've got a lot of stuff to do here for the midweek point of the season. Let's go ahead and upgrade some players. So, wow, I'm a little surprised we're doing this well in year 2. We're 5-2 in the midpoint of the year. And view weekly awards. Did we have a guy win weekly awards or something this past week? Fenton, our corner, won player of the week in the NFC. 4 tackles, an interception, and a touchdown. And it looks like we just beat somebody. We beat the Vikings by 8, so that's good. All right, so we're 5-2, leading the division. Bryce Young, I guess, is playing pretty well in his rookie season. Let me go ahead and take a look at stats, and let's see what his numbers are looking like so far. I'm glad I decided to go with him. So he's almost at 2,000 yards passing for the year. He's got 13 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's good. Alligator is our best running back, but our rushing touchdown leader is actually a Kane. So our running game isn't really that great. And our leading receiver actually is Bird. And London has 500. But London has the most receiving touchdowns with 5. And what about Pitts? How's he doing? Kyle Pitts has 3 touchdowns, 443 yards for the season so far. Okay. So Bryce Young is playing pretty well during his rookie season so far. So that's good to see. Could be on his way to Rookie of the Year. Who knows? But he's turned life around for us already in year 1. I mean, we're 5-2. We're number 1 in the NFC South. The Panthers are not far behind, and they have a solid team still, coming off of that Super Bowl win that they had last year. Our offense is more higher rated than our defense at 80 as opposed to 77, giving us a fairly balanced 78 overall. So we're looking pretty good so far at the midpoint of the year. Let's get to the negotiating and see who we have, who we may want to consider bringing back. And we got a whole lot of cap room. Now Lindstrom, I want to try to bring him back because he could be a centerpiece. Wow. But both of these guys' interest is low. Oh, man. So you know what? Let's go with a player-friendly. 4 years, $9.6 million. I could find a better team in free agency that will match the current offer. Okay. So what about Terrell Jr.? A.J. Terrell, 91 overall corner. We're going with a player-friendly option, 6 years. You need to do more to convince me this team is right for my future. Wow. Okay, so we're going to have to go very player-friendly with these guys. Hayward, we can let walk. Lorenzo Carter, I think I could look to bring him back for on a 3-year deal. Exactly the offer next season will be great. Okay, so we were able to bring back Carter, convince Carter to come back. Rankins, I'd actually like to keep him for a little while longer. Let's keep him. Let's see if we can keep him on the docket for 1 more year. Good offer. Glad we got the deal done. I am too. A lot of these contracts are going to come up because I offered a lot of 1-year deals to all these guys. Martin can walk, and you know Patterson, I'm going to let you walk as well, man. Tannehill, you can walk. Walker, Anzalone. Let's see if we can actually. Well, we can't even negotiate. We have to negotiate with him starting in week 9. So yeah. All right. Well, that's a little bit deflating. Lindstrom and Terrell are 2 guys that are the highest. They're probably the highest rated guys on our team, but their interest in resigning is not high at all. It's low, super low. It might be tough to convince those guys to come back, which will make things really tough. We're basically going to have to look for a brand new starting right guard and new starting corner. That's not fun. So we're going to go week by week now. See what we can do to wrap up to end the regular season. We're on a good we're in a good spot right now at 5-2 leading the division, but will it stick? We'll see. So we lost to the Lions, and now we've dropped to 2nd in our division. Breakout receiver. Let's see what this is talking about right here. Just wanted to say I really appreciate you involving me in the game plan last week. It gets boring out there, just running routes and not seeing the ball. You know, keep throwing it my way. I truly believe I have potential to be one of the best players on this team. I need an opportunity to prove it. But who is talking right now? I can't see who's talking. Oh, Drake London. Okay, so it's Drake London who was sending me a text message as the owner. By the way, the owner is Michael Vick. What better person to try to rebuild the Falcons than one of the most dynamic players in the history of the league and of the Falcons? So, yeah, for those dirty birds, trying to restore that pride from the Vic days and everything. Make this a playoff team again. All right, let's go back to the negotiating screen because I think there was a guy that we can negotiate with starting this week that I want to bring back. Oh yeah, it was that linebacker. So it's that linebacker. So let's go ahead and take care of him first because I know we'll be able to take care of him. So let's go ahead and make this neutral offer. Happy to sign a team play for a great organization. Cool. Before we get back to Lindstrom and Terrell, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of these guys. Hennessy, probably looking at him as well. Hankins, I'm going to let walk just because, we just running out of room. All right, Lindstrom and Terrell, I want you guys back. I want y'all back. Previous offer. Let's go. Very team friendly. I could find a better team. Max's current offer. Jeez. Lindstrom is not budging. We could always tag one of these guys, which we might have to do. Very player friendly. Okay, A.J. Terrell, 91 overall. Can you play with us for 7 more years? I'm excited to sign and play with such a great team. Okay, so we got Terrell. Okay, so good. One of the crisis averted, but a 7-year deal is what it took to keep this guy here. But he's a 91 overall corner, and we're not going to get another cornerback in free agency or in the draft this offseason that is as good or powerful as him. But we still have $100 million in cap room left, so that's not bad. So with Lindstrom, we'll keep trying during the season, but we're probably just going to have to franchise tag him, which is not going to be fun, but it's probably what we're going to have to do. And we can't. What else? What other players could I possibly think about negotiating with? Maybe I could bring back Eric Fisher and just let Compton walk. Maybe bring back Fisher for 1 more season. He's a veteran left tackle. He's not going to cost too much to bring him back anyway, so yeah. Answer media question. At the midway point, your team's in a good spot. How far do you think this team could go? Well, it's a dangerous game, so worry about winning each week. I believe we're showing the Super Bowl caliber team. We're trying to be a playoff team. this second year. And so far, we have a shot. We're second in our division, even though we lost grip on it this week. But, you know, we got a shot. Playing the Saints this week. They're 3-4. See if we can get a win. And we lost to the Saints. Wow. View message, breakout player. This is probably London. What else? What is London talking about now? I didn't get it done today, Coach, but to be honest, I don't feel like I was given the opportunity. If I'm not focal at this point of the offense, then whatever, that's fine, but I'm disappointed. Okay, Drake. Well, sorry, man. I'm trying to build this team, but, you know, we're not always going to be winning every week, so sorry. Kyle Pitts. Upgrade him and some more players. All right. We're on a bye week this week, so time to do some housekeeping. Let's go back to negotiating with some guys. Okay, Lindstrom. We are going to still do you a very player-friendly deal. What about $11 million? Thanks for the offer, but I'm just not interested in signing. Oh, man. Oh, my God. So, goodness. We can still probably franchise tag him, but that's going to be tough. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's see what else we can do. Actually, can't negotiate with Hennessy until week 11. Okay, well, whatever. So unfortunately, we're not able to get Lindstrom. So, or not able to convince him to sign just yet. Hopefully down the line we can still do it. Gonna be tough. And I may just have to franchise tag him on a bye week. So, scouting focus player. Delegate those decisions to the staff. So, can we not negotiate with Lindstrom anymore? So we can't even negotiate with him anymore. Unbelievable. So he's basically shut us out. So let's get Hennessy back in here. Good offer. Okay, so Hennessy is back. What other players could we look at negotiating with? Because I know there were some other ones that I was somewhat interested in doing. Morrow, I think I actually am interested in bringing back. 72. His interest is up there in re-signing as well. And I think we can always get another fullback, so I don't think we really have to go with Burton. We don't have to worry about bringing Burton back. And Fisher and Compton. So probably Fisher over Compton just because he fits our scheme, even though he's a little bit on the older side. So yeah, I think we can probably go with that. But in the meantime, we're 5-4. Packers are 5-4 as well. And do we have any injuries? I know A.J. Terrell was hurt in the first week, but I hope we don't have any other significant injuries right now. We do not. So that's great. So we're starting to slip up a little bit here. We were leading the division. Now we're still second in the division. The Panthers are up on us by a game. And we got a tough game against the Packers this week in Atlanta. Odds are starting to look a little bit bleak at being a playoff team. And we lost to the Packers. We're 5-5. We're still second in the division, but not looking too good or very promising right now for a playoff run. But we were able to upgrade Mr. Patterson, even though we're probably going to let him walk this offseason. Let's go view weekly awards. Do we have somebody win an award this week? Oh, Anzalone won NFC Defensive Player of the Week with 16 tackles and an interception. How about that? Glad we decided to keep him around as well. Getting that new contract negotiated early, I think, definitely helped. So let's continue some of the negotiating here. Let's see who we're still interested in bringing back. Actually, we can't negotiate with Murrow yet. We got to wait till week 13 for that. And is Lindstrom still? Yeah, he's still shutting us out. So that's unfortunate. It's crazy. Two and 8 Jets this week. Hopefully we can get a win against these guys. This should be an easier game. If we lose this one, then we don't deserve to make the playoffs. I'll just say it. And we lost. Wow. We've lost, like, I think our last 3 in a row. So, yeah. Let's take a look at the playoff picture. I don't think we're going to be making the playoffs this year. Got the Vikings, Eagles, Commanders, Lions, Panthers, Packers, and the Rams are the #1 seed in the NFC. So, looking pretty bleak for any chances of making the postseason. And we're still second in our division. I don't think the Saints will really be able to... I don't think the Saints will be able to catch us necessarily, so I'm not too concerned about that. But still. But we are in Week 13. Let's see if we can negotiate with... that one player, Morrow. Let's see if we can start negotiating with Morrow. I want to bring him back for a 2-year deal. Excited and stay with a great team. Okay. What other players can we negotiate with? Like I said, I'm going to let Hankins walk. Okay, so Fisher in Week 15 is our next next player that I want to negotiate with. Try to bring him back to give some stability for the offensive line. And we are playing the winless... Okay. If we lose to a winless Chicago Bears team, we're done. We're tanking the rest of the season. Don't lose to the Bears, please. We're better than them. We shouldn't lose. Don't give the Bears their first win, guys. Come on. We can't lose to the Bears. How are they this bad? Wow, Justin Fields must be on another bad level. So we won, and we barely beat the Bears by 3 points. So fortunately, we're not known as the team that gave the Bears possibly their only win of the 2023 season. So thank goodness we avoided a huge embarrassment for us. And now we're at 500 and 6-6. Forget about the playoffs. I was just hoping we can, beat the winless Bears. I mean, seriously. It's like Jim Morris said, playoffs. I just hope we can win a game. Another game. Unfortunately, we did. And we got the 4-8 Bucks. They're not doing so hot this year. I think they're last in the division. And no Tom Brady. So Graham is out for 2 weeks with a torn labrum. I'm not going to worry about putting him on IR because we still have an outside chance at the playoffs, and we still got a shot. So we're only still trailing the Panthers by 1 game for the division title, so we have to hope that they lose, and we probably got to really win out at this point. We got a winnable game against the Buccaneers in Tampa. Hopefully this is a win that we can get that is much needed, especially for our division. But something tells me this may be another L. Nope, we beat the Bucks by 2. So we are now 7-6 at home, getting ready to host a team that I rebuilt before, the Texans, who are 8-5. So they're having a pretty good year in their first season of trying to rebuild as well. Okay, so we are in Week 15. Let's go ahead and negotiate and get Eric Fisher back on at least like a 2-year deal. Let's get Eric Fisher back on a 2-year deal. Or he just wants 1 year? Okay. You know what? He is getting up there in age, so let's go ahead and just do 1 year for him. And let me just double check and see if there's any other players. Martin's interest is up there, but we can always get another punter in the offseason, so I'm not going to really worry about that. And, Compton is not... Yeah, but he doesn't fit our scheme, so we're going to let him walk. We're going to keep Fisher as our other right tackle. Or left tackle. Left or right. He can play both sides. All right, so we got a pretty tough game against the 8-5 Texans. They're doing way better this season than they were last year, so hopefully we can get a win against these guys. This would be an upset win in Atlanta. And we beat the Texans by 7. So we are 8-6, and the Panthers are 8-6, so they lost last week. So that kind of puts us back in contention for a division title. Maybe an outside chance looking in. And possibly. So We'll see. And our last game of the regular season actually is against the Panthers. So pretty good timing for us to play that game. But before we get to them, we got to take care of the New Orleans Saints, who are 5-6, and it doesn't mean anything if we don't beat these guys to maybe challenge for a division title in the final week of the regular season. And we beat the Saints. We're 9-6. The Panthers are 9-6. So my guess is that the winner of this game may win the division and go to the playoffs. We are in the playoff picture. Wow. Unbelievable. So we may be able to make this a playoff team in year one of this rebuild alone. So, wow. So we're 9-6. Panthers are 9-6. So it looks like if we win this game, we're in the playoffs, which is pretty crazy to think that just in 1 year, Bryce Young has turned life around in Atlanta. So we're playing this game. And we're going to play the moments. And we're going to see if we can get a win against the Panthers. And if we win this game, we may be going to the playoffs. Going with the all-whites. Looking forward to playing with Bryce Young for the first time. Be very interesting. Carolina on the road. This is likely for the division and the playoffs. Be unbelievable to make the playoffs in our first season of the rebuild. If we do make the playoffs, I'm going to sim. Just to kind of, make things a little bit realistic. Because I don't want this rebuild to end too quickly, because we're only in year 2.
From Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina.
All right, so here we go. On the road, playing our rival Panthers. And we got a chance to win the division. Let's do it. Let's go, Bryce Young.
How will that affect the passing game?
Running for Rookie of the Year.
This is the first drive of the contest. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
There we go, Drake. Woo! Make a miss. Let's go, Drake.
Out across midfield down to the 45. Heck of a start, a 30-yard.
And I don't mean champagne poppy.
So
I'm sure he's got that joke made about him
across midfield. It's 1st and 10.
I like London's ability. He's a speedy guy. Young receiver, good to build around. And we throw a pick on our second play of the game. Oh my goodness. No, that was terrible.
The Panthers are going to take possession as they got it at the 42-yard line.
Not off to a good start in this game. And the Panthers start driving down the field immediately. They have the ball at the 19-yard line. The second down, 2 here.
Ball in the red zone. Here's Huntley.
Oh,
quick slant complete to
so it looks like Tyler Huntley is their new starting quarterback.
Down right at the 10-yard line.
And this team is fresh out of the Super Bowl title.
First and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Huntley to throw.
Get in there. Oh, come on. We're too slow. Get him. There we go.
He'll wind up getting right about 4
nice job
on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
All right, 2nd down and 6. We can stop him here.
To throw, Huntley.
Pick that. Oh.
Toward the end
Knocked
zone,
away. Good enough.
That's going to wind up incomplete.
All right.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion.
So
this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
To throw on 3rd down.
Come on.
Huntley.
Get in there, D. Come on. Sack him. What are you? Please. For the.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Tyler Huntley. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Panthers use the early turnover to get on the board first here in this one.
We had him. Instead, we let him go. Now we're down by 7 early.
Has this offense in really good position. Can they finish the drive off? Let's find out. It's 1st and 10 inside the red zone.
Patterson, touchdown Falcons. Let's go. Nice job on the slant route by Patterson.
And the Falcons are...
Third down and 6. We've got the ball back, but the Panthers scored again. So this is a back and forth battle. At least so far.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
There we go.
His man complete over the middle.
Got it to Bird.
That's Bird. And the Falcons are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Let's go with a mesh right here.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Come on, Pitts. Break that tackle, Pitts. There we go. Down to the 2.
That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
Hey, let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on, you're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they try.
Get in there. Touchdown, Atlanta.
Touchdown, Atlanta.
Nice. Way to respond. Last couple of good drives by Bryce Young, shaking off that early interception. Back in business here. All right, we got a chance to take the lead before the end of the first half. And Drake London, they leaving just a safety on him? That is a mismatch. Oh my goodness, that is awful defense. And Drake London is gone. Touchdown. Oh, that was terrible defense. They had the safety guarding him, and that was it. And we hit him with one play drive with a touchdown. Complete lapse in the Panthers' defense.
Coming up here,
we took advantage.
Looking for a 3rd down stop in the 2nd quarter. They'll look to throw again.
Sack him. Oh, fumble. Get it. Let's go, Mac.
Falcons grab it. And now off to the races down the right side.
House it. Let's go, Atlanta. Touchdown. What a momentum swing for the end of the half. Wonderful.
And that's a linebacker showing he can move pretty good with a football.
Nice. Panthers drove back down the field, and they're back within 7, so they fought back in the 3rd quarter, but we still got a 7-point lead on these guys.
Trying to preserve a very slim lead in the 3rd quarter. On 3rd down.
Oh, tip it. Oh, I thought we could get that pick up, that interception off the tip drill. Not quite, though. But we forced him to a 4th down. And now we're back on defense, but they got a chance to capitalize in the red zone.
What can this defense do as they look to hold on to their 2nd half lead?
Uh-oh. Let them open, but he stepped out of bounds. Thank goodness.
And inside the 5,
he could have walked that thing in the end zone.
Out of bounds right at the 3. So the ball
they got a chance to still tie it, to take the lead here. Late in the 3rd quarter. Oh, get him down. Let's go. There we go. Good. Okay, get him down. Thank you. And that's Penny, the guy that we lost out to in free agency.
The short field payoff. We'll see if they can.
And just to be a backup, Penny, if you came here, you could have been the starter. You're 2nd string behind Hubbard. You could have come here and been our starter.
This defense not budging.
And speaking of Hubbard, we just denied him, and now they have 4th and goal at the 1. They're probably going to go for this. There's no way they don't go for this. Yeah, they're going for it.
Win on the possession, but psychologically take over the ball game.
Spot this started with chance to make goal line stand. Not. Oh my goodness, we lost contain on the outside, and he walks into the end zone. Get them all the way to 4th down, and we just can't stop. Now the Panthers got the lead back. All right, well, this is where Bryce Young proves how good he is even as a rookie. We've got a chance to get the lead back here. We can't make any stupid mistakes. But we got a big tight end in Kyle Pitts running down the field. Over 300 yards throwing for Young in this game. He does have 2 picks, but he's played well since both of them have occurred. We got to get this thing in the end zone. Take this lead back. It's a high-scoring game that I'm sure is one that a lot of fans are tuning into. But if they don't have Sunday ticket, that's their problem. I want to run the slant Get this thing in there. Let's go, Drake.
It's London for the Atlanta touchdown.
We score to take the lead. Drake London gets his second touchdown of the game.
His second touchdown.
We are up, once again, on the Panthers. But they're driving. And here they come again.
We drop you back into the action in a one-score game. This defense needs to get a stop. They need to get the ball back to their offense and get down and score.
Here we go. We got a sack.
Nice job. And he goes down. Grady Jarrett has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Back to throw. Huntley.
Oh, man, Huntley's loose.
And they're going to get this down.
Could have gotten a bigger hit on him if he didn't break contain. Huntley ate us alive on that
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
All right, 2 minutes left.
So it's Panther football
if they score
as we welcome you back. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And will push his way down to about the 14. The Panthers
obviously they can't go for the field goal. That would be nothing.
Urgency right now. Huntley.
Oh.
Throwing out left.
Okay, all right. He didn't get the first, but I thought we could force it to drop.
The pitch and catch, and now it's 3rd and 3. Now Huntley.
Oh, man. That was a bad play call. We left him wide open on the right side. Again, no coverage over there.
From 10 yards.
And with the extra point, they're up again. So this is it for Young. We got to go down the field. We get a field goal to go to overtime, or we can go for the touchdown. And I want to be a little bit aggressive here. I want to get this thing into the end zone for 6.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have.
Bryce Young shows how mature he is.
Sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go?
Come on, break it out of there. Let's go, screen pass. Get out of bounds. There we go. We got the first. Now we're going to start spending our timeouts. Young Hoku is a good kicker. So if we have to settle for field goal, I'm not too worried about that, but I'd really love to knock this thing out in regulation with a touchdown. Pitts is what? Oh my God, Bryce!
These two teams, they met in Charlotte earlier in the year with the Panthers coming out on top. So a win here in Charlotte.
That was it. That was the play, man. That was the throw.
Come up 2nd and 10.
Okay.
They'll look to throw.
Come on. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, we recover it. Timeout. Oh my God. Okay, and the next play you do that. Oh my God. Bryce. Bryce. 3rd and 18. Oh my Lord.
He's back to throw.
Go up and get this. Dropped.
Unbelievable. They've got one chance left to keep this one going, and I think for you and me, let's think along with their offensive coordinator now has to think back, cycle through every play of this contest.
This is the game.
And remember what's worked and what hasn't.
Come on.
Because right here,
we got a flag though. Please be on them.
Keep this one alive.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Oh, they declined it.
That doesn't make any sense,
God.
Right? I mean, it doesn't at all because you want.
Bryce Young missed a wide open receiver on that first down. We lose a fumble on the next play. Well, we lose a fumble, but we recover it, but we lose 8 yards.
The Panthers down to a knee out of the victory formation.
Patterson dropped a pass that would have gotten us into a 4th and 1.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half. And that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime,
man, this
making
was
adjustments. You know what the best
this was a tough L.
It's just executing better.
I've had some tough playoff losses in rebuilds, but this to end the regular season stings
just
more.
Have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
Bryce Young really did play this game well up until the end of the fourth quarter. But golly, he didn't make the throws when we needed him to.
Do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin.
I'll give him a pass as a rookie quarterback, but next year if we get into a similar spot like this, Young needs to make those throws. I mean, that receiver on first down was wide open. If he catches that ball, he's probably still running. We at least are in field goal range, so if nothing else, we get a chance to kick a field goal with Young Hoku. And that might have just cost us the playoffs. And it didn't. Actually, you know what? I stand corrected. So that actually wasn't our last game of the regular season. I thought it was. Okay. I am so sorry for being overdramatic. That was not our last game of the regular season. So we are playing a game against the Jaguars. But what's the playoff picture looking like? With that loss, are we out of it? We're not. So we're not out of it. So if we win this game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, we might have a chance to win. So I'm glad I actually played that. Well, I'm not really glad I played that Panthers game now because we lost by 3. But now we got to play one more game against Jacksonville, who's not in our division. And hopefully we can get a win here. But we'll see. Oh, jeez. All right, please don't lose this game. Please don't lose this game. That was a pretty deflating loss last week. I just hope it didn't trickle into the rest of the team. Them having doubts about themselves. We're in the playoffs. So we are in the playoffs in the first year of the rebuild. How about that? I did not expect that to happen. We beat Jacksonville by 10, and we're in the wild card round against the Washington Commanders. So let's take a look at the playoff bracket, and then I'm going to wrap up this live stream and then we'll do part 2 hopefully next week. We got the Panthers taking on the Giants. We got the Commanders taking on Falcons. And we got the Lions going up to face the Rams. And the Packers have the number 1 seed, so they get the bye. The bye week in the AFC goes to the Bills. Ravens against the Chiefs. Texans against the Browns. Raiders versus the Dolphins. So that is the 2023 season playoffs. And we're going to pick this up next week. Really surprised that we got into the playoffs. I really did think that game against the Panthers was the last game of the season. And I thought if we lost that one, we were out of the playoffs. So I was happily wrong. So despite the fact that Bryce Young lost that game, he rebounded, and now we're in the playoffs with a rookie quarterback, a decent offense, and we got a chance to make some noise. But you know what? Actually, I said if we made the playoffs that I would sim, so I'm going to go ahead and hold true to that. So we're going to sim our wild card round and see what we do. If we lose, that's fine. Because I at least got them to be a playoff team in the second year. So now we can't take a step back. And we beat the Commanders. We're 29-21. Wow. Going to be tough going against the Lions in their place. So let's take a look and see what happened in the rest of the playoffs in the wild card week. So the Giants upset the Panthers by 17. We beat the Commanders. The Lions upset the Rams. So every high seed in the wild card round lost in the playoffs. The Ravens beat the Chiefs. The Browns beat the Texans. And the Raiders beat the Dolphins. So it's Ravens, Raiders, Browns, Bills, Packers, Giants, and Lions and Falcons. So wow, we are in the divisional round. It's Bryce Young. I think it's the Bryce Young factor, y'all. With him being our new quarterback, probably in a running for Rookie of the Year, I have to imagine. Pretty certain he will be. So let's see if we beat the Lions in the divisional round. If we don't, hey, this is a season that exceeded my expectations for sure. And they continue to defy the odds. We're going to the NFC Championship game against the Packers. Wow. Unbelievable. This Falcon team is shocking everybody. Bryce Young is on a rookie year roller coaster thrill ride that is just beyond any expectations. Can we beat the Packers and Aaron Rodgers in Lambeau Field and go to the Super Bowl? Well, we're in the Super... Oh my God, guys. From me being certain that we were not making the playoffs to now we're in the Super Bowl against... Oh my God. Already we're in the Super Bowl. This is unbelievable. I mean, our team is not high rated. We're 80s. I'm sure the Browns are rated way better than us. In the meantime, though, let's upgrade some of our staff points here. Upgrade that. Only got one skill point left to spend. We'll save that for later. Unbelievable. Bryce Young has to win Rookie of the Year for taking a team that missed out on the playoffs entirely, barely getting in the playoffs as a wild card team, to making it all the way to the Super Bowl. That's unbelievable. Well, can't really view the Pro Bowl roster because I'm pretty sure that we're not going to have any Falcons in the Pro Bowl because we got to play in the Super Bowl. So unbelievable. And Grant won NFC Defensive Player of the Week, 4 tackles, 1 interception, a touchdown. And Bryce Young won NFC Offensive Rookie of the Week with 230 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns. He was sacked twice. He had 4 carries, 14 rushing yards. Bryce Young for Offensive Rookie of the Year. No question about it. That's the Bryce Young effect. Put him with a good team, with some decent weapons, not anything outstanding, but he's got us all the way to the Super Bowl. Are we going to win the Super Bowl in our first full season of the rebuild? I did not think this was a possibility. But the Falcons are on the brink of doing the impossible. Okay, so here we go. Let's go ahead and view yearly awards. Bryce Young has to have won Rookie of the Year. There's no way. So MVP goes to Mahomes. Young nowhere in sight, but that's fine. What about Coach of the Year? Arthur Smith finished 3rd for Coach of the Year. How about that? Well, Arthur, you've definitely played yourself into a job long-term here. Offensive Player of the Year. We don't have anybody from the Falcons. Defensive Player of the Year. No Falcons in there either. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Bryce Young didn't win it. Jackson Smith-Njigba won Offensive Rookie of the Year for the Cowboys. Okay, and they didn't even make the playoffs. Bryce Young led a team that didn't make the playoffs last year to the Super Bowl as a rookie quarterback. When is the last time that's happened? Come on, EA. Oh, man. And Devon Achane was also in consideration for Offensive Rookie of the Year, 5th, so not bad for him. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we didn't have anybody there. Best quarterback, Bryce Young finished 9th in the NFC. Best running back, Tyler Alliger finished 10th. Best receiver, did Drake get any love? Drake London finished 6th, and Damian Bird finished 10th. Best offensive lineman, Chris Lindstrom. Please come back. We'll offer you whatever you want. Please come back and help us finish the mission, win or lose. Defensive lineman, Grady Jarrett finished 5th. Okay. Best linebacker. Nobody there. Best defensive back, Rashad Fenton finished 3rd. Best kicker, Young Hoku is the best kicker of the year. So he's our only award winner, true award winner. Got the best kicker in the league in Young Hoku. So, all right. So here we go. Super Bowl 58 against the Cleveland Browns in year 2. Year 2, we are already in the Super Bowl. Unbelievable. And unfortunately, we lost. But you know what? We have reached a place that I did not think we would be at this point of the rebuild. And Bryce Young is our quarterback. He's our quarterback. We're going to go with him, and we're going to ride with him for the rest of this rebuild until we're Super Bowl champions. So now the expectations have gone up another level for year 3 of this rebuild. So now it's all about getting a little bit more talented, a little bit more help on offense and defense, and we will be able to win a championship here in the near future with Bryce Young as our quarterback. So that's very encouraging. Getting Bryce Young in that draft was the difference between us being a playoff team, between us being a team that didn't make the playoffs, and being one game short and falling one game short of winning a championship. So here we go, staff week. Let's go to mock draft 3, and let's see who they have us projected to take. I gotta imagine they got us projecting. We're pretty low because we lost in the Super Bowl. So they have us projected to take Tavarius Young, a strong safety out of Clemson. We could use some safety help, so if we actually take him, if we take Young, I think that'd be actually a pretty solid pick. So I'm in favor of that, with going with what the experts expect. But let's go and view retirements, and let's see if we had anybody from the Falcons retire. But let's check the rest of the league. Adam Thielen retired, so did Cameron Jordan. Aaron Rodgers, hang it up, man. Hang it up, Aaron. Beat them in the NFC Championship game to get to the Super Bowl, and I guess that was the last straw. Boyle, Trent Williams retired. So Tom Compton did retire, so we wouldn't even be able to bring him back even if we wanted to. But I think Fisher's still here, so that'd be good. Kelsey retired, so did Prater. Hicks retired. Quisenby, J.J. Watt retired. Tom Brady retired. Couldn't get the Broncos probably to the Super Bowl, so he's retiring. Pretty crazy in this rebuild universe that Tom Brady doesn't go back to the Bucs. He goes to the Broncos in his final season as a pro, and then hangs it up. Von Miller's retiring, so's Josh Norman, Duke Johnson, Cam Newton, Macy. Yeah, some recognizable faces are retiring. But let's go to us really quick, and let me see if we had any other players retire. So, no, it was just Tom Compton. So Tom Compton was the only player from our squad who retired. But we need right tackle help anyway. I know we're re-signing Eric Fisher, but I think we could use a better right tackle on that side. I know there's probably not a whole lot to upgrade with a team that went to the Super Bowl and lost it, but I don't think we can bank on the same thing 2 years in a row. And as far as players ready to negotiate, let's see if we can make one more last-ditch effort to bring back Lindstrom. So we're going to franchise tag Lindstrom. Lindstrom, we want to keep you here, man. We really do. So we franchise tag Lindstrom to keep him here at least for one more year. Hopefully we can work out a contract that will keep him here for the rest of this rebuild. That's what I'm hoping for. Let's take a look at what else is here. And you know what? Cordero Patterson, we're going to go ahead and show you some love as well, man. So, we're going to keep him around for at least one more season. Just wants one more year. And you know what, Hawkins? We still need safety help, so we're going to go ahead and keep you around as well for depth, just in case we can't get a better strong safety than you in free agency or the draft. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to let Hankins and Burton walk. We can upgrade those guys in free agency and the draft. And we have quite a lot of cap room to spend as well, so that's pretty good. So we can make a team that went to the Super Bowl, I think, even better for 2023. Well, guys, I'm going to wrap it up for this live stream. Check back in next week. It'll probably only be Monday. I'll probably only be able to do one live stream next week, and it'll be on Monday because I actually have to go into work for 1 hour next Tuesday to do some training with an editing program that we have. Definitely not something I want to do on a Tuesday, which is my only day off, which is my Sundays, if you will. But it is what it is. It's what I got to do. So thank you very much for checking out the live stream, guys. Really surprised that I was able to rebuild the Falcons into a Super Bowl team in the second year with getting Bryce Young. But Bryce Young is our quarterback. We're moving forward with him. Ryan Tannehill's contract is up anyway, so I'm going to let him walk. So this just became a pretty exciting rebuild for the rest of the time that I'm going to be doing this, which probably will be just a few more live stream episodes, and that'll be excuse me, sorry, and that'll be it. So it makes this rebuild a little bit more fun to know that we have Bryce Young as our quarterback, and we're going to go with him. So pretty excited to see what he can do, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next video with the Atlanta Falcons rebuild live stream. Have a good day, everyone.